Well, hey everybody. I'm just out here enjoying myself, and thoughts come to your head when you're out there. There's a lot of people out there that teach survival classes and talk about survival, and I want to talk about how I feel about it. According to Google, the state or fact of continuing to live or exist, typically in spite of an accident, ordeal, or difficult situation. That's about the best definition I've found of it. Um, we go to classes, we learn things to mitigate survival. Um, if you know how to start a fire and you need to have a fire, is that truly survival, or is it just living on, existing? Which comes into the definition of survival. But then the other part of the definition talks about, well, circumstances. But most times, for me, survival means you're in a situation you're not prepared for, did not plan, and maybe not trained for. For me, I've done a few different ways. I've flipped a canoe out in the middle of Hood Canal in the winter time, long ways from shore. Made it to shore, got a fire going, worked my way through the first stages of hypothermia. Some ways I think about it as survival, but to me it was just, this is what I gotta do. I gotta get to shore, get warm, get dry clothes on. But you talk to people about things like this and they're like, well, that's survival. And in a way that's true. I've come from hypothermia more than once out here in Washington. You get wet by accident. I fell in a river one time in the middle of winter. It took me forever to get a fire going. I managed to make it. I had a shelter built, so it wasn't too big of a deal. I did suffer for a few days because of it, but I got through it, got by. I've had to hike in the winter time in the snow, unprepared. That's probably one of my most worst ordeals, is having to hike 50 miles in a snowstorm and all I got is a hoodie. I ended up finding a garbage bag, which I used to survive that ordeal. And I'm glad I found that garbage bag, because I'm not sure I would have made that hike. It was bad. But that's survival. I mean, you either live on or you don't. The people that live on, they survive. They survived, and that's the whole definition and ability for dealing with situations. The more you learn, the easier this is. Like fire starting skills, shelter building skills. These are survival skills. If you're really good at it, and are you truly in danger of death if you need a fire and you can start a fire? Yeah, it is survival in a way, but it's not like you're hiking down a trail, you fall off a cliff, and now you got broken pieces and you have to survive. Get help, get out, whatever it is you have to do to survive. I've been lucky not to have too much of a problem with that. I did fall one time and landed on a log and stuck a branch into my leg pretty bad. I was in pretty bad shape. I had to stitch it up myself, which I still got a good scar from having to do that. But luckily, I was prepared and had a sewing needle and thread. I had enough water to last a little while so I could clean it and rest. But, only because I was prepared did I survive. If I wasn't prepared or didn't have, warm clothes, water, a needle and thread, or even some kind of band-aid, which normally, now I carry a medical kit, but when I was younger, I never did. I had a bandana in my pocket, probably had duct tape in my backpack. That was my medical kit, and it worked for a lot of things. But yeah, survival is just the ability to live longer. to just survive, there's a lot of debate on that subject. I spent a long time living out in the woods, and I was just surviving. Some times of the year I was prosperous, sometimes I wasn't. But it was a choice I made to go out there and do this, and I learned a lot of myself, my abilities, you know, skills you don't know you have or didn't remember you had. What I learned when I was a kid, I used these. I had to use these to survive. All I started with was a wool blanket and a knife, you know. Every so often I'd go to town, I'd work a little bit, get some money, get some more to add to my kit. But all I was doing was I was out there just to survive. And not survival as it is, but just to survive. I wasn't going forward with my day. I wasn't going backwards. The winter times were rough. Yeah, spring was nice. Berry season was nice. You know, ate a lot of fish and rabbit. But for the skills I learned growing up, able to catch those fish without, you know, having any tools for fishing, and catching those rabbits without having any tools for trapping. Things I learned growing up. Never thought I'd ever use them in my life, you know, but I did. And I still practice them now and then. I don't trap animals. I have no need for that. I do like to go fishing. I'm not the greatest fisherman, but I do like to go fishing. Fish is good food. But you learn over the years that, you know, they teach these survival classes. They're teaching the skills to survive. Survival is a mental aspect of life, and we all do it every day. The skills, hey, if you're an outdoors person like I am and you're always outside, skills are a must. You can still live outside and survive, but you know, you need to know your land, you need to know, you know, your landscape, your climate. You need to know all these things if you're going to be outside an extended period. And even, you know, short trips, you got to plan for the worst sometimes. I mean, we all carry our emergency kits. Simple as that. You don't go hiking off without your backpack. There's a lot of things, you know. Some of us carry 2 backpacks, which I do. I carry a collapsible one in my big backpack, so if I know I'm going to be off like a day trip or something like that, I'm carrying that little pack with my, you know, kit in there, just in case. Not because I want to be in those situations, but, you know, sometimes you're in those situations. I don't have to worry about it here. Got it pretty good today. This is, you know, right next to my camp, so. Yeah, I just thought I'd communicate a little bit how I felt about survival and a little bit how I dealt with it. And thanks for watching.